I look crazy. And this is insane. This is my first time going live. I've never used live before. Let's see how this even works. So, how do I. Oh, perfect. So I can start sharing my screen. I love it. So we can design this together. So how do I see myself? See what I look like. Oh, it's right there. So I'm gonna put it right here. And where is my screen that I'm sharing? Okay. So this is the screen that I'm gonna be sharing. Like I said, I even look like a crazy woman. Well, I just got home from work and I decided to start doing some live videos so I feel more comfortable in front of the camera. I like I definitely like teaching people. So that's one of the things. I love teaching people. I love sharing my knowledge with people. So this is something easy for me that is comfortable for me. The only thing that I don't like to be in the spotlight. So that's the problem. But I think that if I start doing tutorials on what I do on a daily basis, it will make it a lot easier for me to talk to the camera. I don't have a teleprompter. This is totally natural. And if I mess up, oh well, I'm going to learn. So I don't have, even my background looks messy. Ah, yeah, I have a computer out there that I need to kind of put together. And so today, what we're going to do today, going back to what are we doing? So I created a couple Canva funeral program. So let's start from the beginning. My name is Miss P, and I am the CEO and owner of the Memorial Studio. I've been doing funeral programs since 2011, so I have been doing this for a long time. I do not use Canva, just disclaimer. I don't use Canva. I use Photoshop and I use InDesign. So, InDesign and Photoshop are the programs that I use on a daily basis. But not everybody is cut up to do Photoshop. I've been doing Photoshop since 2006. 2006, I think I started. Long, long time ago, before even the Adobe Cloud existed. I did Photoshop, and I even did Flash animation back in the day. So I'm not gonna date myself, but yeah, I did. I've been doing Photoshop forever, and Photoshop is the tool that I use for my obituaries. I use Photoshop, and then for the typesetting, I use InDesign. But now we go into all the people that are trying to do funerals now, and I know that Photoshop, first of all, you have to pay. It works for me because I have a business, so it comes out of my business expenses. Photoshop is something that I pay every month. No given, something that I use all the time. I use pretty much a lot of the programs from Adobe. I'm not sponsored by Adobe. I'm not saying. I'm just saying I use Adobe all the time. So I have Photoshop, InDesign. I use Illustrator for logo designs. Also, I use Premiere and After Effects for my video editing. So I it's worth for me. It's worth it for me to pay for like a little bit cloud. But I know a lot of people don't. So I learned myself. I taught myself how to use Canva. That's very intuitive, very easy. I created a couple of Canva templates, you could say, so people can edit it. I'm gonna add this template link at the bottom of this video when it's finished so I can add it there. I think you can edit it after so you guys can use it. And in this short video, hopefully a short, we are going to edit this so it makes it, you can make it yourself. Okay, so this sample is for like a orange, white, gold template. So if the obituary that you need to do is like that color, you don't have to change the background, you don't have to do anything. One of the things that I like to do with my templates is having extra elements that you can actually add and delete and change. Like this banner, this gold banner is added. I imported that. These are doves that you can move around. Also, you have the clouds, so the clouds can be moved around, change. The flowers can be moved around and change. There's more clouds here. I believe I had some. Oh, I also have some sun rays over here that you can add to things, so it just gives it a little bit more depth on your design, so it's not just a background and then your pictures on top. um I do, like I said, I've been doing obituaries since 2011. I have, if I don't give, I have done about, it's gonna sound like a lot of obituaries, but more than 600. So I'm trying to tally like the obituaries that I've done in my lifetime, and it's been like above 600 obituaries. So it could be 800. I don't know if I could count to 1,000, but I know it's about 600 obituaries. I normally have about 5 to 6 obituaries a week. Now that I'm very busy, so let's start doing some editing. So I'm going to start to explain a little bit how the pages work, so so this is one sheet of paper. This is for the 11 by 17 sheets of paper, the larger, not the letter size. So you have one side, then you have the other side, then you have another sheet, and then you have another one. Okay, so you have two sheets of paper, four sides, eight panels. Let's repeat it. So we have two sheets of paper, four sides, and eight panels. I like to break it down like that so it's easier for the person that you're doing the obituary for. They understand what the information is going to go. So it's to say, oh, I just want one piece of paper, one sheet of paper, but in reality, they're asking for four panels. So let me show you what the panels are. So let's say I'm gonna grab another ruler right here. So this is 11, so we're gonna have it right here into 8.5. So 8.5 is my middle side of the paper. So we have one panel here is your cover. Then your back page is another panel. Then the same thing here. So you have, this is your obituary, that's one panel. Then you have a collage, that's another panel. Then over here we have another collage. Then we have the order of service. We have a poem page, and then we have tributes. Or it can be more pictures. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do with this template, you can do. You can add pictures. You can add text. You can add anything. I'm gonna keep it the same color. I'm gonna do another video showing you how to change the color on the template. But let's say you like it. You want the template that the funeral program that you're using, that you're gonna do, is, these are the colors: white, gold, orange, soft, feminine. This is, I consider this template a feminine template. You can make it more masculine. Maybe we'll take away some of the flowers, make it a little more masculine, but we're gonna keep it as a female. This is a feminine template. Okay, it has some lace on it. So it has lace, it has roses, white roses, it has gold. So I will consider this a female obituary. And like I said, we're going to have 8 panels. So this is going to be one of those booklets. Consider the magazine style. It's not a magazine design, but it's the magazine size. And it's going to be folded, stapled. And you're going to have 4 panels. Okay. So let's start with the cover. We normally start with the cover. You can change the name. You can change it to, instead, everything is editable. So you can change this, instead of in loving memory, we can put ce- celebration of life, or you can do anything. I like this font because it's nice, and it's a nice cursive font. It's called Maritza. You can actually download it on font.com for free if you want it. This is you can change this if you want to. You can change the name. We can change the last name. Instead of Carrie Carr, we can do, Harrison, or it can be anything you want. It doesn't matter. You can change the name right here. I have Sophia. It could be Carolina. It can be any name. So let's make it Carolina. So let's delete this part right here. We don't need Sophia part anymore. So we're gonna have Carolina, that's the last name. You can make it bigger, you can adjust it as you want it. Right here, the same thing. This is the service information. Service information, this is the sunrise and sunset. So sunrise, sunset, and service information. No, note that I have a border here. A lot of obituary designers that I know, they don't care about the border. And that's one of the things that is very crucial when you're doing obituaries. You have to have a nice border, because when you print, normally you have a wide border, and that's gonna cut part of your design. So I get a lot of people sending me obituaries because I have a print shop. So I print their obituaries for their clients, and they don't have a border. So when I print, I normally check and tell them, hey, can you adjust the border? Because if not, I'm gonna have to adjust them for them, and I'm gonna have to edit your file and try to make it, because I don't want to print it and it's gonna cut your lettering. Because if you do this right here, let's say you have this over here, this end is not gonna show up, and people think that the whole page is gonna print. No, that's not how it is. You print normally extra, and then you trim, and that's kind of like your edge or bleed of your page. But people think that, you know when you're not trained into printing or graphic design, you don't know those things. So that's what I'm saying. Always have at least a quarter of an inch of a margin on your design, because if not, it's gonna get cut, and that's it's not gonna be nice. So you can change your service, service information. This is where the service is gonna be. This is normally your thank yous that goes in the back. You can change it. You can do whatever you want. This, until we see you again, you can edit this. It doesn't matter. So let's get to the fun part. I think the fun part is working with pictures. So let's say I'm gonna have one big picture on the front. I'm gonna have a couple pictures on the back. And this is one of the things that I like about my templates, because I add extra elements to it so you can cover your edges or your pages. So let's go over here and let's go into my uploads. So uploads are some pictures of people in general. So let's say I want to use this lady as my cover page, as my cover, right? So this is the person who passed away. This is the main picture. This looks very beautiful. I think she looks really cute. So how are we gonna add this to this so it's not a square, right? Because you can a lot of people like to just do it like this, and they do like a little square, and that's okay if you like that style of obituaries. Just make it right there, and you just put it right here, and you just have the square. That's okay. If that's okay with you, that's fine. But this template is a little bit different. We're gonna crop this. We're gonna take this background out. So we're gonna adjust this all the way to the max that I have it. Then I'm gonna go to background remover. It's gonna take that background. See how nicely? I'm gonna adjust it. And you see the sharp edge right here? I'm not gonna leave it like this, because it doesn't look nice. You see how it doesn't look, those roses are behind. So one thing that I tell people to do on this template, you're gonna move it all the way up a little bit, and you're gonna right click, and it's gonna go into your layers. So you're gonna go layers, show layers, and then over here, you're gonna see all the elements that this template has. So you're gonna go down, and I want this picture to be behind the clouds and behind the roses. So I don't have, see, now it's behind those roses. We still have this element right here. We're gonna bring it down one more, or still a little bit more. Behind here, we're gonna be, let's bring it down here. There you go. So all these clouds are there. You don't get to see them, but they're there. They're elements that I added on the design so you have a nicer picture on the front. So you see how this one looks like nice. You don't have the sharp edge on the front anymore because it gets cut. It gets masked a little bit by the clouds and the elements that we have there. I know that Photoshop is different. You can put those things is a little bit different on people that are not very comfortable with adding elements into Canva, but that's how I create the template. So you have your picture here. That's how you do your front. I like it. I really like it. Like I said, you can change this. I like that. You have this some burst there that gives like a nice detail. Now let's add some more pictures here. We're gonna add some more pictures of her right here, and the same thing applies. We're gonna grab some of these pictures, and we are going to trim them, remove the background, and we're going to add them right here. And like I said, I want those pictures to look a little bit nice, so I am going to do my layers, go into my layers, show layers, and I'm gonna bring them underneath my clouds. So it has like a nice little edge right there. I know this layer, I know this edge is okay. We could do something else for that. We can bring it down again, just so it goes a little bit more down there. Okay. I don't know what happened here. It says I'm still editing on here. So I can add pictures here. I can add another picture here of her, or it can be somebody else. We can add this lady. We can crop it, remove background, put her behind right here. You can go to layers, show layers, bring her down. Where is she? Oops, did I miss her? Where's she at? Layers, show layers. Interesting. Why I don't see her? I think Canva is tripping because I don't see the lady. Okay, we might have to adjust this a little bit later because she is not showing up. So if I do send backwards, you can do that too. Send backwards until she goes behind all these elements. Send backwards. I'm not gonna do send to the back because it's gonna go behind your background. Send backwards this because you have these elements of these doves as well. So you don't want to do that. So but see how nicely it looks? It looks like it's nice and smooth right there. This one I think is looking a little, there you go. I think it looks better right there. You just have to make sure that the edges are nice. You don't want things to be too sharp. So this is page number 1 and number 8. This is your back page, okay? So how do we add pictures on these little squares? The same thing. You click on your picture and then you grab it and then you put it in there. Very easy. That is so easy. You like that picture, you go and grab it in there. You like that picture, you grab it and put it in there. If you want to adjust that so it doesn't get cut off, you just grab it and move it here, adjust it a little bit like that, and then that's it. Very easy. Canva is very convenient for those, for that thing. Now we have the obituary. You will add your own obituary here. You will add your pictures on here as well. The same thing with the order of service. You'll add your own order of service. You'll add pictures right here. And then this is a poem. You don't have to have a poem, but if you want to have a poem, you can add it. You can change the background of this. You can add family tributes and letters. You can have tributes right here. You can have people that's actually writing something for the person that passed away. So let's say we have her. Let's go back. It went all the way. It went back. Let's click that. Let's put her in there. So we can say, Mommy, Mom, I miss you. Mom, I miss you. It can be anything. It can be really anything you want. It doesn't have to. You can have people that want to put little letters and little details into there. This background right here, you can change it really easily. You can go into elements. You can have, I have some photos here of different things like cross. I put cross and sky, so we can click on here and we can add it here. We can do it like this, and you can just trim it to the size that you want. You can send it to the back, send backwards, or you can go to the layer like I showed you before. I don't know why Canva is kind of tripping right now, but you can go into layers, send backwards, and then you're gonna have that. But you might wanna delete what you have behind it, so you can delete that background. This background you can delete. Just make sure that you have your. This goes on 8.5. This goes on 8.5 right there. That's your middle. Right there. You might wanna move this a little bit here. You might want to change the opacity, the transparency of that. Just make it a little bit less so you can read it a little bit better. A good a good watermark is like about 20. If you want it super subtle, like a 15, but on Canva, like a 20, 25 is a good. If you want it a little bit dark, you can always just adjust the transparency to whatever you want it. If you want it really dark, or if you want it, how you want it. So these are 2 pages. This is 2 pages. So your collage of pictures, the same thing. You're gonna go click on upload, and you're gonna upload your pictures, whatever you want. You're gonna click on them, and then you're gonna put them in your spaces. It's really easy. That's one of the things that I really like about Canva. Like Photoshop doesn't have that. You have to trim them and mask them yourself. You can do masking and all that, but it's a lot harder. So that's really easy how you put those pictures on there. And then over here, you can do a couple things. You can have square pictures, you can have circle pictures, you can have, these are square because they're nice, but you can, let's say if you want to add a circle one or something like that, you could, like on frames. If you go into frames, you can kind of click on one of those and then add a frame. That one has a interesting edge to it. I don't know what that is, but go back to your uploads. Then you just click on and adjust it in there. Oh, image not found. Okay, perfect. So let's delete that. Let's say we want to have this right here. Instead of have a square, we want to have her. This is a very pretty picture of the person. We can do that. We're going to do background remove, and then we can add it right there. I think this is really cool. On obituaries, to have them kind of trimmed, and you can delete this if you want. Normally what I do on this obituary side, I put pictures of the person, like maybe like younger to older. It's a nice touch. You can make it bigger. You can do this, make it bigger. And then what you can do is grab some of the, let's see, let me do layer. Let's see if I have, yeah, it's not gonna work there. I'm gonna grab some of the clouds that I have on this page. I'm gonna click on there, I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm gonna bring it to this page, and I'm gonna put it here so it can nicely coat that edge because I don't want that edge to be sharp. And we can duplicate it again so it's nice and opaque. And then we don't want it to be on top of our letters, so we're gonna go into our layers, show layers, and we can actually move them behind, or we can just do right here, layer, send it back, or send backwards, or we can bring this forward, bring forward so it's on top of your thing. This we can send it back, send backwards so it's behind both of your clouds. So that's a nice little touch that you can adjust that here on Canva. And then that's pretty much it. This is like super super easy. And then just make sure that you have your margins pretty nicely. Pictures are really easy. Change your content. Make sure your pictures are behind the element so they don't have a sharp edge. And then now, how do we export this? We're not going to export this as a JPEG. We're not going to export this as a PNG. It has to be a PDF. It has to be something that's going to be um, that printers are going to use, and it's not going to change it. JPEGs are for web pictures, photos, but this is a program. So you want your font to be legible, and the best way is with a PDF. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go into share, and you're going to do download. And when you do download, it says suggested PNG. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to go into, it could be standard. Normally it downloads it in a normal way, like if you want to share it, or PDF, best for printing. So you're going to do that, PDF for print, and you're going to download it just like that. It could be RGB and CMYK are two different things. So RGB is for web and for your images on your screen. If you're printing it on your home computer, use RGB. But if you're sending it to a professional print, you want to do CMYK, just so you know. Because CMYK is going to use the colors that the print press is going to use. RGB is what you kind of see. So normally your home printers are going to be adjusted to a RGB, even though they have four colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. The K is black. RGB is what you see on your screen. But sometimes the majority of people, because not everybody's graphic designer, they don't know the difference. So normally your printers at home are adjusted so they print what you see, RGB. But if you're going to send it to a professional printer, do CMYK, because that's going to be the colors that are going to be closer to what you see on your screen, but it's going to be closer for them to print it as what it goes on your screen. Okay, so you can do CMYK. If you don't know, just leave it RGB, and you're going to do PDF print, and you're going to do download. So what's going to do is going to download it into a PDF as long sheets of paper. So it's going to be 11 by 17 sheets of paper. And then when you send it to the print, it's going to print it like that. One thing that I forgot to tell you, so let's say if you want to change things around. So this is your front cover. This is number one. This is your back cover. So this is your back. Then this is your first page. So when you open it up, this is number one. This is not number two. Number two is going to be this one right here. Number two is your order of service, because this is going to be folded, and this is going to be number two. This is going to be number one. This is going to be number two. This is number seven, because it's going to be the back behind of this one. Then you're going to have, this is number two. Then you're going to have, this is number one, number two, number three. Then you're going to have your middle page. That's going to be four and five. You can change it. This can be the collage of pictures. Normally people like to open it up and have the collage of pictures, so it can be that if you want to. This is four and five. Then you're going to have six, and then this is seven, and then this is eight. Okay, so when you print it, it's going to be, this is going to be one sheet, this is going to be one sheet, but this is going to be behind, because this one is going to come and it's going to be folded next to your order, next to your obituary. This is going to be on the other side, and then this is going to be behind this page. It's going to be your middle. So when you open it up in the middle, it's going to be these two pages. So you know. So it's just so you know. You can do it differently. If you want the order service to be here, you can easily just grab this and move it there. If you want to, you want the order service here and then the obituary to be next to it, you can do that. If you want the collage to be in the middle, you can move these things, move the collages. These two pages can be right here in the middle if you want to. And then on one side, you can have the tributes and the poems. But it's whatever you want to do. This is a totally editable template on Canva, and I'm gonna add it, like I said, I'm gonna add it underneath on this video. And I think that's pretty much it. So it did download it already. Let me see if it downloaded. It says error occurred. Let me see if I can open it on the PDF. So let me see right here. If you can, I think it's not gonna share my PDF because I have it sharing just a tab. It's not sharing the PDF that I have. So it don't matter. So we're just gonna leave it like that. And I think if you have any questions, just let me know. I am gonna start doing a lot more videos. And that's pretty much it. Bye.